is one of the most visited cities in Asia, where cleanliness, hygiene, and tidiness are found on every city corner. Well, this could be the thought of every tourist who has never been to Hong Kong. However, most local people know that might only be part of the story. Especially in traditional districts like Sham Shui Po and Shek Kip Mei, it is not hard to find gum and cigarettes on the floor. According to the Environmental Protection Department, Hong Kong generated 5.67 million tons of waste in 2021. As the biggest contributor of Hong Kong's rubbish, 6,992 tons of household waste is collected based on the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department. The number constitutes 73.2% of total waste produced in Hong Kong and is growing yearly. Landfills in Hong Kong are filling up and will be full by the middle of this decade. Consequently, the lack of landfill space in Hong Kong will cause the unrecycled garbage to accumulate and cause many problems, such as hygiene and also health issues.
We first conducted a survey and interviews to discover how much household waste Hong Kongers produce and find possible solutions to reduce the waste output effectively. We also had 3 households participate in a 2-week sampling. For the sampling practice, these are what we need. How did we do the sampling? First, we divide our waste into 3 categories: recyclable, non-recyclable, and food. And we weigh the categories respectively and record the data observed. In the first week of the practice, participants were told to maintain their normal habits. Over half of the surveys claimed that recyclable waste was the primary waste they produce. We also noticed that many surveys and interviewees shared a bit of having takeaway meals. Therefore, we asked the participants to continue the sampling practice with recycling habits and reducing the number of takeaway containers. Before the trials, we expected that both changes in habit would work on the participants.
Let's take a look at the results of the samples. The primary waste category produced by participant 1 and 2 was non-recyclable waste and food waste respectively. And participant 3 was the special case of a one-person household. The main waste produced was non-recyclable waste, and there was no food waste in that household. Now, let's see the results in the 7 days with changed habits. We told participant 1 to reduce the number of takeaway meals throughout the week. As shown in the figure, the total waste production decreased in the 2nd week. Drops were recorded in all 3 categories. So, it worked for participant 1. Participant 2 was asked to maintain a recycling habit in the 2nd week. From the graph, it is easy to find that the waste produced during the modified period was higher than the one with regular habits. The changed routine seemingly didn't apply to participant 2. However, if we exclude the food waste produced, a decrease in waste production is observed almost every day. The waste production with food waste excluded dropped by 54%, which is quite an inspiring number. So why didn't the change in habit work as a whole? You may already get the first reason: food waste. Production of food waste by participant 2 was increased by 101%, meaning that more than double of food leftovers were made in the 2nd week. Another reason for this phenomenon is the production of non-recyclable waste. The amount of non-recyclable waste produced increased by 141%, almost 1.5 times that in the 1st week. Lastly, participant 3 also performed a recycling habit in the 2nd week. The waste production generally decreased in the 2nd week. The total amount of waste produced was also reduced by 51%. Therefore, performing a habit of recycling did apply to participant 3 effectively.
The sampling practice shows that the effectiveness of changing a single habit may not be enough regarding the different compositions of waste in different households. Hence, it is suggested to modify multiple habits to reduce every category of waste in daily life. The most surprising part of the survey is that 44% of respondents have never heard of an effective way to manage their waste, and 76% of them use plastics due to their convenience. And most of them don't have any recycling habits. Moreover, 74% of them acknowledge the lack of efforts by the Hong Kong government. These data imply that education and advertisement on waste issues are still insufficient in Hong Kong.
There are two leading causes that initiate the Hong Kong waste problem. They are the throwaway lifestyle and the lack of effort by the government. As garbage is a global problem, working on it cannot be done only by one party. To alleviate the waste problem, the government could advertise more on social media in an attractive way and hold more talks in schools to increase public awareness. On the other hand, the public also needs to cooperate actively by having the endeavor to reuse and recycle their waste, order sufficient amounts of food to cut food waste, and use bags or lunch boxes when they are outside.
In conclusion, we believe that changing daily habits could reduce the production of particular waste to a considerable extent, and there is more that could be done by the government.
Although producing garbage is inevitable, the government and the citizens need to work hand in hand to diminish the amount of waste produced.